How can you keep the blood nice and thin? There is no need to take rat poison, I mean warfarin. And there is no need to take aspirin. Aspirin and Aspro, the research is showing now, they cause brain bleeds and eye bleeds. Brain bleeds is contributing to Alzheimer's, eye bleeds is contributing to the deterioration of our eyesight.
Hello, I'm Barbara O'Neill. Today we're tackling a crucial health topic, high blood pressure. This condition, often called the silent killer, affects millions of people, particularly as we age. High blood pressure can lead to serious health issues such as heart disease and stroke, but it often has no obvious symptoms. Did you know that nearly 1 in 2 adults over 65 has high blood pressure? This statistic highlights the importance of understanding and managing this condition. In this lecture, we'll explore what high blood pressure is, its causes, and practical steps you can take to lower and manage it effectively. So stick around as we uncover valuable tips and strategies to help you keep your blood pressure in check and improve your overall health.
Let's make a list of blood thinners. This is a thicker one. Blood thinners. What keeps the blood thin? Now you're going to love this blood thinner because it's very, very cheap. Water. It is true. It is the best blood thinner that you can take. Well, how come people that are drinking water don't have thin blood? Well, if a person's drinking water, they must be sure that they're drinking adequate water. This is the water loss in a day. So out of your kidneys, we have 1.5 litre loss. Out of your skin, 0.5 of a litre loss. Out of your colon, a 0.3 of a litre loss. And out of your lungs, a 0.2 of a litre loss. So that equals 2.5 litre loss in a 24-hour period. Now, the half litre can be replaced with herb teas, your fruits, your vegetables, but the 2 litres must be replaced with water and water alone. The good news is you don't have to drink it all in half an hour. You've got 24 hours to drink that 2 litres of water. That's pretty reasonable, isn't it? Now, obviously, 8 of those hours we're sound asleep, so we're not drinking. But you've still got a lot of time to drink water. My suggestion is go to bed with a glass of water next to your bed. And as soon as you wake up, half a glass. And then you might go to the bathroom. And then you might come back, have another half a glass. And then you might do what I do and pray. And I've got a lot of children and a lot of grandchildren and a lot of people to pray for. And then I'll have another half glass. And then I might read my Bible, something inspiration for that, have another half a glass. And then I'll put my joggers on and I might have another half glass. And then I'll go for my high intensity run. And when I get back, I really want another half glass. You know, it's easy for me because I usually wake about 5:30. That's my favorite wake time. And then I can fit sometimes 3, sometimes 4 glasses of water before I eat at around 7:30. Wow, so that's a lot of my water done, yeah? Now, the best time to drink water is between meals, because if you drink with meals, you can water down your gastric juices, as you'll find out tomorrow night when we go on a journey through your gastrointestinal tract. And you'll see when we get to the stomach, it's acid. And you put water in acid, what happens to the acid? It neutralizes it. So try and stop drinking water half an hour before the meal and resume about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the meal. If you are fully hydrated when you sit to eat, you will not need to drink with your meals. Most people drink with their meals because they sit to eat dehydrated. And it's such an American habit and an Aussie habit. Is it a New Zealand habit? One lady that came to our retreat, she said, every time I sit to eat, I keep reaching for that glass of water. And on Saturday morning, I'll show you how you can rewire your brain, how you can actually change your habits. So it's approximately 2 litres of water in a day. That's absolutely vital. You've just got to find out how to get it in. and your body can utilize it better if you take it in little by little by little. But there is another way you can better utilize your water, and that is by using the whole salt. But aren't we supposed to stop salt? Isn't salt bad for high blood pressure? Let me give you the salt story. The highest concentration of sodium is found in seawater. And seawater contains 92 minerals. It's called an isotonic solution because it is the exact same mineral balance and proportion as is found in the body, in the blood. In fact, in the war, the Navy would transfuse with seawater.
If you want to make drinking water a regular habit, it can help to set reminders throughout the day. Start with small, manageable goals like having a glass of water every hour and gradually increase your intake as you get used to it. Listen to your body's signals too. Sometimes we mistake thirst for hunger, which can lead to unnecessary snacking. If you feel hungry between meals, try drinking a glass of water first and wait a few minutes to see if that helps. The temperature of the water can also make a difference. Some people find they drink more when the water is at a temperature they like, whether that's cool, room temperature, or slightly warm. Try different temperatures to see what works best for you. Remember, staying hydrated isn't just about drinking water. Foods with high water content like cucumbers, oranges, and watermelon can also help keep you hydrated, especially when it's hot out and you're losing more water through sweat.
So the table salt on the supermarket shelf is actually a dangerous salt. We need to be taking salt into our body the way it's found in nature, with all the other minerals. Celtic salt and Himalayan salt contain 82 minerals. So Celtic salt, and you can usually buy it at the health food shop. 82 minerals. Where are the other 10? They're in such pico proportion that's barely measurable that it's inevitable that some are lost in the evaporation process. But hey, 82 is pretty close to 92, isn't it? And that Celtic salt has 3 magnesiums. It has magnesium bromide. It contains magnesium sulfate and magnesium chloride. Magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, and that's why that salt is usually quite moist. Now let's go to the CBD and have a look at what happens here. This is the cell. Now the cell has a bilayered membrane around it. And the way to get water into the cell is by taking magnesium. So when you take a crystal of Celtic salt on your tongue, already your mucous membranes are absorbing the minerals into the blood. The blood takes that magnesium to the cell. You drink your water, and that magnesium pulls the water inside the cell. It's a water-hungry molecule. That's the quickest way to hydrate the human body, is to put that crystal of Celtic salt on your tongue, do a little chomp, and then drink it down. Many people are sick because they're dehydrated, and yet some of them are drinking a lot of water. And the water's going straight through. The water is not getting inside the cell. That's why the best way to have your water, and beside my bed I have a little bit of that Celtic salt. I wake up, I have the Celtic salt, I have half a glass of water. As I said, I get out of bed, I have another glass of water. Best way for your body to utilize that water is to have little by little, by little, by little, by little. And at the beginning of every one of your 8 glasses, have that Celtic salt. Now, the highest concentration of mineral outside the cell is sodium. The highest concentration inside the cell is potassium. And there are sodium-potassium pumps in the bilayered membrane around the cell. And the pumps are constantly basically going like that, balancing the sodium and potassium levels in and out of the cell. Now, if someone's having a lot of table salt, and remember what table salt contains? 2 minerals. That's what table salt contains, just those 2. 2 minerals. And if someone's having a lot of table salt, Those two minerals are so harsh, if you were to inject them straight into the person, they would die. Well, what's normal saline solution? It has got a couple of more minerals and it's greatly watered down. But if that sodium chloride was to go straight into the veins, the person would die. And when a person is sprinkling table salt all over their food, they're such harsh minerals, those two by themselves, they kill the taste buds. Have you noticed? The people shake it all over the food. They haven't even tasted whether it needs it or not. Well, no wonder. Their taste buds are dying. When you put the Celtic salt on the food, it awakens the taste buds. It's a delicious salt. So let's say someone's putting table salt on everything, and of course it's got no minerals in it at all. Sodium levels are rising. Potassium is found in all your fresh fruits and vegetables. And let's say the person is busy, they haven't got time to chew an apple or eat the fresh fruit and vegetables, they just eat the fast food. Potassium levels are dropping. Now, sodium is in small amounts inside the cell. So what's happening inside the cell now? Sodium levels are rising, potassium levels are dropping. Osmosis and diffusion happens when the largest concentration merges into the lowest, which starts to happen in here because potassium levels are too low. And then the cell swells. What's that called? High blood pressure. The doctor is right. Table salt can greatly contribute to high blood pressure. And so what's the person told to do now? Stop the salt. Now, sodium levels are going too low. And when the sodium levels inside the cell go too low, the cell swells. What's that? High blood pressure again. You see, both extremes are unsafe. The table salt is dangerous because of the imbalance of minerals. No salt is dangerous because did you know that sodium is the third most vital element needed for life? You'll find that in every anatomy and physiology book, every biology book, every chemistry book. The third most vital element needed for life. What's the first? Oxygen. What's the second? Water. What's the third? Sodium. What's the fourth? Potassium. So a salt-free diet is a very unscientific diet. It's a dangerous diet because you think about it. We cry, seawater. We sweat, seawater. We urinate, seawater. I haven't tasted that, but I don't think anyone has. But baby swims in utero in seawater. We need salt. Every time we urinate, cry, perspire, we're losing it. And we need to replace it. And we need to replace it the way it is found in nature with all of the other minerals.
It's important to know that not all salts are the same. Table salt is highly processed, meaning most of the natural minerals are removed. In contrast, Celtic salt and Himalayan salt keep their minerals, which are beneficial to our health. These salts contain trace elements like zinc, iron, and calcium, which our bodies need. Zinc helps our immune system and aids in healing wounds. Iron is crucial for carrying oxygen in our blood. Calcium, known for strengthening bones, also helps with nerve signals and muscle movements. So when you use natural salts like Celtic or Himalayan salt, you're getting more than just sodium. You're also getting these essential nutrients. On the other hand, if you eat too much table salt, which lacks these minerals, it can throw off your body's balance. This imbalance can affect how your cells function, potentially leading to problems like fluid retention, heart issues, and kidney strain.
Another cause of high blood pressure can be a vitamin D deficiency. How so? Well, calcium is a very important mineral. And calcium cannot get into the cell by itself. Calcium needs vitamin D. And when vitamin D is present, calcium is pulled into the cell. And when calcium's pulled into the cell, all the other minerals piggyback on the back of calcium. And this is why calcium is called the king. Because calcium's called the king, because when calcium gets in, all the other minerals get in, it's been misunderstood to the point where people think if they want strong bones, they've got to take calcium supplements. No, no, no. Calcium hardens cement, but it doesn't harden bones because bones aren't made of calcium. Bones are made of minerals. Bones are made of 12 minerals and 64 trace minerals. Well, where do we find those minerals? In the Celtic salt, in its perfect form. Where else? Dark green leafy vegetables. Look at the size of the bones of the cow, of the orangutan, of the elephant. They're all vegetarian creatures and they've got very big bones. Where do they get their minerals for their bones from? Dark green leafy vegetables. We should eat dark green leafy vegetables every day. And you do not lose your minerals when you cook your vegetables. You will only lose your minerals if you cook your vegetables in water and throw the water away. There's all your minerals. Use waterless cooking. Put the tiniest little bit of water in, put it on a low heat with the lid on and let it slowly cook and then use it all. But with spinach, silver beet, you don't even need to put water in there, do you? So much water comes out of it. When you cook vegetables in their own juice, you get a lovely flavour. So vitamin D deficiency can cause high blood pressure because if there's a deficiency in vitamin C, the calcium and the minerals can't get in. And what the body does, it builds up pressure to try and force it in.
Vitamin D is essential for regulating blood pressure because it helps your body absorb calcium and other important minerals. Without enough vitamin D, calcium can't get into your cells properly, which messes up how your body controls blood pressure. If calcium levels drop, your body might release a hormone to pull calcium from your bones, which can weaken them and potentially raise blood pressure. To keep your blood pressure in check, make sure you get enough vitamin D. You can do this by spending time in the sun, eating foods rich in vitamin D like fatty fish, a balanced diet that includes a variety of minerals such as magnesium and potassium, along with regular exercise, also supports healthy blood pressure and overall heart health.
Another cause of high blood pressure can be wheat and sugar. How so? We explained last night. You see, wheat and sugar both break down to glucose, and as we looked at last night in the diabetes lecture, high amounts quickly. And glucose cannot get into the cell by itself. It must have insulin. But if the pancreas is worn out because the person's eating so much sugar and so much wheat, then the insulin is depleted and the glucose can't get into the cell. Can you see what's happening here? The person's mineral deficient, vitamin D deficient, insulin deficient, and this is the CBD. This is where all these nutrients are required. And the cell says, we've got a problem here. How can we get it in? We're lacking insulin, we're lacking magnesium, we're lacking vitamin D. The body says, oh no, we'll just force it in. What's that? Blood pressure.
When the body encounters something it is intolerant to, such as hybridized wheat or excessive sugar, it reacts by increasing blood pressure. This response is a way for the body to attempt to manage and process these foreign substances. Additionally, chronic high blood pressure can strain the cardiovascular system, leading to further complications like heart disease and stroke. It's crucial to address dietary choices and manage intake of wheat and sugar to maintain healthy blood pressure levels. Ensuring a balanced diet rich in essential nutrients like magnesium, vitamin D, and adequate insulin can help mitigate these issues. Regular monitoring and adjustments to one's diet can make a significant difference in overall cardiovascular health.
Inactivity can cause high blood pressure. Most doctors today will agree that exercise has a powerful effect on the strengthening of the heart. In fact, it's the only thing that will strengthen the heart is exercise. It's a not negotiable subject. You just got to find out how you can fit it into your day. And the most powerful exercise for the heart is the high-intensity interval training. High-intensity interval training. As the name implies, they're intervals of high intensity, intervals of recovery for a cycle, often of anywhere between 3 and 6. So the high intensity can be 20 to 30 seconds. Have you tried it? Did you feel like you were dying? A recovery time of 2 to 3 minutes, and done for a cycle of anywhere between 3 and 6. 3 is a good maintenance dose. 6 is a great one if you want to turn things around, and you can turn things around quite quickly. Most of the research has been done on exercise bikes. It's a lot easier to go 30 seconds on an exercise bike than run up a hill for 30 seconds, which is probably what I usually do. You can do it swimming. Can't swim? Exercise bike, don't have a bike, can't do the bike. Everyone can do the rebounder. And the rebounder, you start with just little jigging and then you start to jump, jump, jump. The rebounder exercise is the only exercise that strengthens every single cell in the body. And your heart muscle is made up of cells. As you do this high intensity, your heart gets stronger and stronger. Your breath becomes, well, your lungs start to take in your air a lot deeper. Every muscle in the body is getting more exercise. And as I showed you before, when this cell has oxygen, it's going to give you 18 times more energy. That means every cell, 18 times more energy. Every cell in the body has more energy, and every cell in your heart has more energy. You can totally turn high blood pressure around even just by exercise. So inactivity is one of the causes. Inactivity causes the blood to pool in the internal organs. When you start moving, it causes the blood to be taken out to the extremities. Another cause of high blood pressure is dehydration. In dehydration, little capillary networks can shut down to maintain full blood volume in the major arteries. And when those little capillary networks shut down, it actually causes more pressure on the heart.
To further manage high blood pressure, incorporating lifestyle changes beyond exercise can be beneficial. Eating a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables and whole grains while reducing salt intake supports cardiovascular health. Maintaining a healthy weight, managing stress and avoiding excessive alcohol and smoking are also important. Regular checkups with your healthcare provider help monitor blood pressure and adjust any treatment plans as necessary. These combined efforts contribute to overall heart health and can significantly lower blood pressure, improving quality of life and reducing the risk of heart disease and stroke.
So how do we turn high blood pressure around? Start taking the Celtic salt. If you're used to no salt, start slowly. Because one of the body's amazing abilities in keeping us alive is the ability to adapt and adjust. And it'll adapt and adjust to no salt. And so you can get it out of that and adapt and adjust to having the salt and having the salt in its balanced form. Vitamin D deficiency. Whenever you see that sun, run out. But if you have a shower and wash with soap just before you have the sun, you won't get sun. You see, the ultraviolet rays from the sun convert a form of cholesterol just under the skin to vitamin D. What's converted to vitamin D? Cholesterol. Isn't cholesterol the cause of high blood pressure? Isn't cholesterol the cause of heart disease? It is not.
Cholesterol is often misunderstood when it comes to health. While it's true that high levels of certain types of cholesterol can contribute to cardiovascular problems, it is not the sole cause of high blood pressure or heart disease. Cholesterol itself is necessary for various bodily functions, including hormone production and cell membrane integrity. The real issue usually lies in an imbalance of different types of cholesterol or other factors such as diet, lifestyle, and genetics. For instance, high blood pressure can be influenced by salt intake, stress, and lack of exercise. Improving overall health involves a balanced approach, reducing processed foods, incorporating more fruits and vegetables, managing stress, and maintaining regular physical activity. By addressing these factors, you can support your body in maintaining healthy blood pressure and overall cardiovascular health. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this information on high blood pressure both informative and actionable. Managing blood pressure is key to reducing your risk of serious health issues and enhancing your quality of life. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more health tips and insights. Feel free to leave any questions or comments below. I'm here to help. Stay proactive about your health, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.